Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's day is going really well and your morning's gotten off to a good start. Today, I want to talk to you men and women too if you want to listen. But what I want to talk about is masculinity and men's views of how we should act and how we are programmed to process feelings and emotions and let those feelings and emotions out in our society. From such a young age, and this is where our society is so out of balance. Is our society is so geared towards the masculine and out of balance with the divine masculine being dominant, and that shows because our society is driven on greed and power struggle and competition and stepping on the next man to get to a higher place. And that is part of the characteristics of the divine, not necessarily the divine masculine, but the masculine. What is wrong with the society is not that it's living overbalanced with the divine masculine, it's just overbalanced with the toxic masculine, and we've lost sight of the divine masculine, which allows us to show compassion, show empathy, to love openly, to cherish thy neighbor, to help thy neighbor. And we've created this toxic masculine where we have to compete with everything we do, and this that I have is nicer than yours, and I did this, or I did this and this so I could get a promotion. And yeah, those things are good traits to have, to be a hard worker, to be driven, but we don't have to step on our fellow man or put our fellow man down, or you know always compete with our fellow man, because we have gotten to that mindset where that's a must, and it blocks so much of our true potential. And we're coming again, you may hear me speak of the age of the awakening, or whatever it is, whatever label you want to put on the times that we're coming to astrologically. We're coming back into balance with the divine masculine, and the divine feminine is making more of a presence in our society, in our human race, which will allow us men to open back up. As long as we heal ourselves, it'll allow us to open back up and touch base with our essence and our being of our soul and what is true. And that is the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And a lot of the problems you see in our society is because we have lost that. But we're with the way the stars align, and you can see it. I mean, you're watching this video, you can see it. People are waking up to the fact of how toxic our society has become and how toxic our mindsets have come, because we're being programmed to be toxic and not divine, and we're being spiritually starved so that we are toxic to each other. And we allow the great divide that is being driven, the agenda that is being driven by the powers to be, dividing us. We're allowing that because we think that we have to step on the next man, and that couldn't be further from the truth. We are all one being. We are all interconnected, and the only way we rise above the powers to be is to collectively and consciously make an effort to better our thoughts. What you can do on a small scale. I know when you speak of astrological things, you're like, man, I can't help that. But you know, in a grand scheme of things, the age of the awakening is coming. But things that you could do and things that you could work on to help accelerate that awakening within yourself and within the people around you and your small community and your society, and eventually globally, when everybody takes and does their part, is you can start to change your mindset and start to live authentically through your soul and not your mind. You need to refine that balance. The ego is so far out of control in our society that that is what leads us to be toxic and to be spiritually starved is because we're feeding the wrong wolf. We're feeding the ego and not the soul. And man, where has it gotten us? And I'm not saying all of our society is doomed or our society is bad, but the powers to be are trying to divide us. And if you can't see that, all you got to do is flip on the news. And for me personally, I know it's there, so I don't watch the news. That is trash to me. It lowers my vibration. I know there's negative out there, but I choose to focus on the light, and I choose to focus on the positive things, and that really starts to raise your vibration, and it reflects, and your thoughts and your actions and your words have ripple effects in this world energetically. So when you choose to emit a higher frequency from your mind and your actions, the people around you start to rise to your frequency, and they start to see the things that you're doing, and they start to emulate the things that you're doing to raise their own frequency. And then we're all at peace because everybody's doing their part within themselves. It's not for me to tell you what to do. It's not for you to tell the next person what to do. It's for you to be a mirror for other people to reflect on their own actions and reflect what they could do within themselves to be better. So I challenge you to live authentically, to listen to your soul, to men, if you are sad, cry. Don't get angry, cry. Allow that emotion to come out in the proper channel, and that'll help you live authentically. When we transfer that, which the ego tells us we can't be sad, as men in this society, we have to be strong, and we have to suck it up, and we got to rub some dirt on it and get the fuck up and move on. That's toxic. That's not true. That's not being true to yourself. And that's part of the program, fellas. So if you have young boys, let them cry, let them be emotional. And I still struggle with this. I still have an ego, and you can't kill the ego. You just have to bring balance of ego and soul. And that's how you live authentically, because the ego is necessary for this physical world manifestation to live purely and to live to your highest potential. You've got to know, ego, that you are capable of unlimited potential. So, little bit of a tangent today. I could go on for hours. I'm going to do my first episode of my podcast here in a few hours after I hit the gym and fill my cup up physically and get the physical world juices flowing along with my mental channeling going here. And so stay tuned. And it's going to be called Lights at the Round Table. Because I'm just trying to shed light on every circumstance and every situation and every taboo happening that goes on in our society, so we can all start to address those taboos and move forward, because the only way is forward. We can't repeat. We have to evolve. Now is the time. So I love you guys. Stay tuned for the podcast that you guys voted. You said you would listen to. Please give me feedback, because with unlimited potential, these rants could go anywhere. So let me know what you want me to talk about. If you want to address issues, nothing is taboo going to be on this podcast. So reach out. I love you guys. Happy Tuesday. I'm about to kill this shit in the gym. I love you.